All right, we do have integrations, by the way. We have QuickBooks Online. It's the first integration that we see up here. All you have to do is sign up for QuickBooks if you don't have that, or just integrate your current account. This is going to be important if you want to set up parallel invoice reporting. So you do have to have a payment provider set up, so either Stripe or CPA Charge, and there will be a third payment provider coming soon, and you will see this available here. That's the integrations that we have. We do have Zapier and a scheduler and more items here. If you are familiar with Zapier, this can help you with creating contacts with other softwares, and your scheduler, if you already have a scheduler, add your link on here and you should be good to go. This will simply create a link to your calendar from the portal. That's what essentially it will do, so that your clients can say, I want to schedule an appointment. They'll click on the link and they'll take them to your scheduler. That scheduler may be with Acuity, Calendly, you can book me.me, and Schedulista. All right, perfect. So if you need to, add more team members, you can go into this section. And again, I'm not going to dive too much into this, so I don't take up more time and we can cover other topics, but please explore this. Under the team members, you may add more team members here and be able to add as many licenses as you require. And also you may be able to edit the roles of your team members. If you click on edit, you may be able to change your employee to an admin so they have access to everything. This is definitely something you want to look into. And if you need more help with this and want to know about what is accessible or not, click on the question mark and we will take you to our help center, in which it'll give you more details on this. Okay, so now that I've covered, some of the main sections, I want to leave, the last section here. I want to talk about these settings because it's quite common that the inbox plus notifications and your email might be getting bombarded with emails that you might not want in the beginning, and this is where you want to make those edits. So the first thing that you'll see, again, upper right hand corner, account settings, you can edit your personal details, your name, you can add your login information, adding a password, a new password maybe if you want to reset it. And also we have two-factor authentication. This is in case that you want to use something like Google Authenticator to be able to log into TaxDome by using a code that generates every 30 seconds. You can do this on an individual level, or in settings, you can actually force your team to do the two-factor authentication. We have this available for your clients as well. So you can make the decision to require this from your clients as well. For now, it is important for you to have as much security as you can. Two-factor authentication is ideal. But again, coming back here, this is for individual level two-factor authentication, in which you are not forced to create it, but in the firm settings, you can force it for your whole team. All right, so let's talk about the notification preferences. The notification preferences is for you to check mark if you need that notification to go to you, whether it's Inbox Plus or email. I highly suggest you leave all of Inbox Plus checked on. And if you don't feel that you want a copy of that same notification to your email, you can just simply uncheck this. For example, I want to know when I get paid. Even if it's in Inbox Plus, I want to get an email about that. So I'll check mark that so I can get an email. And all of these other sections as well. I do want to get an email if somebody signs something. I don't need it if it's an approval, and I don't need it if somebody uploads something, right? So these are the things that everybody in the team on an individual basis can change these preferences. So just remember, if your team member says, you know, I don't like all these emails that are coming into my inbox, remember, you can change them here. And the email sync is one of the things that is important to do. And I'll briefly describe email sync. When you synchronize your email, the only thing that will happen, it will mirror emails that you've already exchanged with your clients. So if the email address in your client contact, you've exchanged emails with them before, or you're going to email them for the first time inside of TaxDome, they will be neatly organized per account. So that's something that is sometimes difficult to digest, but it's not necessarily synchronizing an inbox. You're not going to click on inbox and then see your email as you normally would. It is simply mirroring whatever historical emails you've had, and it just creates more historical data if you email them starting today inside of TaxDome. So you're not going to see any of your personal emails come through here, such as Facebook notifications or something like that. So when you sync this, you're just going to click on sync email, and it will take you to a section that you will have to log in. In this case, I am going to provide approval so that TaxDome can be able to read and write emails, because essentially that's what I want to do inside of TaxDome. All right, perfect. So you'll see this mailbox successfully connected. You can go back to the settings, and here you will see that my email has been successfully synced. There's two toggles on here that are important to talk about. Automatically save attachments and allow others to send from my email. So I highly suggest you keep this off, because it can potentially create issues if you have businesses and individuals and a combination thereof. So for example, if you have somebody that's an individual and they also have a business that you work with, they probably access these two accounts. And if they have business partners, for example, if they email you and you get the email through TaxDome, if there's an attachment, it'll automatically download to both accounts, the business and the individual. So if the content of that data is personal, you probably don't want it to go to their business account. So I would have this toggled off. However, if you work with only individuals, this is probably ideal to have on. So if you do have this on, it just simply means that if they email you an attachment, that document or image will automatically download into their folder. That's all it means. I personally would have it off if you have a combination of many businesses, many individuals that are mixed together, right? That they have businesses and individual accounts together. I have clients that have accounts or clients where they have 5 businesses, and those 5 businesses have, different business owners or different partners. So highly suggest to toggle this off if you don't need it. Toggle it on if you mostly work with one group of clients, businesses, or only individuals. Allow others to send from my email. By default, your clients always get an answer from the person they're writing to. However, you may sometimes want team members to reply to your emails on your behalf. This allows your clients to get a response from you, even if you might not be there. This will also allow to create email templates with predetermined senders. So let's say you have 5 team members, and if they all toggle this on, when you send an email, you will be able to select who it's coming from, right? So let's say I'm emailing 500 clients and I want it to come from one of my team members. In the From section, you will be able to see how many senders I have. Right now, I don't have any team members that have that toggled on, but if I did, I would see a list of employees maybe with their email address, and I can send something on their behalf, which is actually a really neat thing to do, especially if there's somebody's out sick or on vacation. So that's going to be really nice. You will be able to see all of the emails that your team also has sent out to your clients. All right, so in this section, you want to add your signature. I have an advanced HTML signature, but you can do a WYSIWYG, which is just, a really basic signature that you can add. And you can just copy and paste the one you already have. It won't necessarily bring images over, but it will copy over links. Images, if you're, again, advanced, you can do an HTML signature. Most of my clients that I've onboarded actually use a WYSIWYG, which is what you see is what you get. All right, so we've covered our, general sections of TaxDome. And again, that's probably a lot to take in, but to be honest, it is important for you to know what these sections are about. And we also covered firm and account settings. So